Hey mama, this video is for you. If you've been like me, sometimes it feels like you're a complete failure. Nothing is working in life. In my case, especially when it gets close to the holidays like Christmas and New Year's and all the other fun holidays, you think about the child that you wish that was still here. You think about all of the things that they're missing out on and how much it breaks your heart that they're not here. Yet the world wants you to go out and pretend like that child never existed. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain it to you. Especially if you're a mom like I am, where you think about that child. In my case, I think about 3 of them. The 3 that should have been here. I won't go into about Miracle because that's a living death. But you still think about that child every year, year after year. And it's funny, as time passes, you still remember that child. You know exactly how old they would have been every time you've been asked. But yet, the world wants you to move on and act like nothing ever happened. Like it was no big deal. So one of the things that I started realizing, I realized this yesterday, that in this book, Chasing Failure, with Ryan Link, who is at a Live to Lead event that I'm hosting on January 20th. It's an online event. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to miss listening to Ryan speak about how failure, so many people, myself included, we were taught as children, we were taught in society to not go chase failure. We were taught that mistakes and failing is bad. When reality is that's how we learn the most. You know, the one thing that upsets me is that in this programming of when we miss our children, like I just said, society is just pretend like it didn't happen. It happened, move on, you can have other children. That's not the case. Their heart was still beating. You heard or you saw their heartbeat, like I have with my 3 children that are in heaven. And then I go back to the Chasing Failure, which is one of the books that helped me realize that, you know what, maybe we should start chasing failure more, because you learn more in your mistakes of what not to do, of how to do things differently than you can from your successes. Your successes can't teach you anything. Your failure teaches you what to do differently, how to think differently. It's that failure that does that. When you feel like you failed as a mom and you're missing your babies, you know, I think the damage that we do to the children that come after the children that we've miscarried is by ignoring the fact that we've had other children prior to them. And it's not that our children are loved any less that are on earth. It's the fact that when we don't have them, our children need to see that experience as well, because that will help them see that if they go through a miscarriage, you know, male or female, they go through that miscarriage in their own adult lives and they see how we handled it as parents, that will empower our children to handle it differently. That will empower our children to say, you know what, I know what it feels like. I know what my mom and dad went through. But we don't do that. And so where this Chasing Failure has helped is getting out of that negative thoughts of, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. You know, what happens if I were to fail? I mean, like, what happens if I fail in what it is that I want to do? And then we come in and we think about, what happens if you were to succeed? What happens if through chasing failure, you actually succeed? You turn all of those different things that has happened into success instead. And that's where this is something that has helped me after my miscarriage. I've had 2 of them, and I can tell you both times it wasn't fun. I remember the first time that it happened, the world kept going by. I remember sitting in the hospital. I remember that painful moment of feeling all alone, like no one cared. No amount of medication was going to help me. No amount of talking about it was going to help me either. It wasn't until I decided that I deserved something better to help myself move forward. That's where I came up with my empty chair technique with hypnosis, the empty cradle. And I think about the empty cradle and how much that has helped me heal, especially around the holidays. It doesn't mean that I don't get sad. It just means that I'm more at peace with myself, knowing where my babies are, knowing that I've got something to look forward to when I do take my last breath. And I don't know for you as a mom if that's important to you, but it has been important to me to make a difference into this world. And so that's why I invite you to this Live to Lead. It's not just because you're going to learn about chasing failure and listening to Ryan Leake speak, which you don't want to listen to him speak with food in your mouth. You will choke because he is very funny in how he does his speaking. But he also hits at the emotional part of our self-talk. Our self-talk is everything. We got plenty of people in the world ready to beat you up at any moment, verbally, physically, emotionally. But what you do to yourself, that stays with you longer than what the world has. So please join me in this Live to Lead. I'll be hosting it online via Zoom. You can get your tickets now. They're $97 a ticket. You can get them January 20th from 1 to 5 o'clock Central Time. And I hope to see you.